Hi everyone, Pam Gregory. I'm going to be talking to you today about the second half of January and also about the full moon that we have in Leo coming up on the 23rd and the 24th, depending on where in the world you live. Now, over the last 3 weeks or so, many people may have felt a strong urge for change. Christmas Day and Boxing Day, Uranus was stationary, and that often gives people a sense of, I'm not going to tolerate this anymore, I'm going to do things very differently. Also, the new moon in Capricorn earlier this month was shining a light again on that Uranus-Pluto square, which is to do with awakening, radical change and transformation. So, as I say, many of you already may be sensing a strong desire to change. Well, we've got some really very positive things to help with that in this second half of January. Exact on the 14th and the 15th, but really running for the rest of this month, we have Mercury in a very positive aspect to Jupiter and the North Node. Now, breaking that down, Mercury aspecting Jupiter is about thinking big, dreaming big, having big visions. Because Jupiter is conjunct the North Node, which is our collective destiny, where we're evolving towards, again, there's a sense of linking your individual destiny to the unfolding collective destiny. What can you offer uniquely as an individual to contribute to the world? So this can really bring a sense of expansion into it as well. Not only that, but Jupiter and the North Node are aspecting Neptune. So you put all of that together and it's about dreaming big, it's about being future oriented, having very big plans. It's quite mystical actually, it's quite magical, it's very inspiring as well. And you may be already feeling that. It's quite an exuberant feeling. But we're just asked to check ourselves for a little while longer because Mercury is still retrograde and it's best to initiate things when Mercury is going direct. Now, Mercury has been retrograding through the second half of Capricorn, so it's been backing up, if you like, backing up from 30 degrees of Capricorn back to 15, which it's going to get to on the 25th of the month, and then start to move forwards. So in a general sense, Mercury in Capricorn is about reviewing, reevaluating, researching. Use the re-word, going back over any ideas or plans you may have had. Because it's in Capricorn, it may be to do with goals. It's very goal-oriented, very practical goals, and also financial security. Perhaps I think a lot of people this year are going to be shifting their work from just making a living to really making a difference, reflecting what we've just been talking about. But when Mercury also is moving through that area, you need to see where that second half of Capricorn falls in your chart, because that gives it a very different individual meaning for you. For instance, if it's moving through the second house, you may be reviewing money, restructuring your financial situation. If it's moving through the 11th house, you may be reviewing your social network. It makes a very big difference individually in your life if you know where this falls. So if you don't know where that falls in your chart, it's very easy to find a free birth chart online. You just Google search free birth chart, and then you can check out the link appearing above or below me. And if you get my 2-part video series, it can really simply explain how you can find all the things I'm going to be referring to in this video and what the individual meaning is for you, rather than just the more general meanings. So when any planet changes direction, its symbolism is amplified, and that will be true also of Mercury on the 25th of the month when it moves from retrograde to direct, and that's when we can start to move ahead with our plans. And Mercury is quite highlighted this month. I'm going to come back to Mercury in a moment, but in a sense we are also being asked to move inward, not only move inward in our thinking with Mercury retrograde, but Jupiter is also retrograde, in fact until early May. So although Jupiter always has this sense of expansion, it's sort of inner expansion because it's retrograde. It's asking us to go inwards. It's asking us to find our own inner wisdom. And because it's in Virgo, it's particularly about connecting to the earth energies. It could be plant medicine, herb medicine, really sensing that profound connection which can heal whatever ails you. So it's almost, because it's retrograde in Virgo and it's conjunct the North Node, it's almost asking you, what is your soul calling you to do? You know, to deep level, what is your soul calling you to do? Then coming back to Mercury, it's very interesting that in the second half of this month we have the Pluto-Uranus square highlighted yet again. It's been running for 4 years now. At the new moon in Capricorn earlier this month, we have both the Sun and the Moon conjunct Pluto square to Uranus. Now we're going to have Mercury conjunct Pluto square Uranus, and that is exact sort of 19th to the 22nd, 29th to the 31st. That's going to be happening, and this can give great originality. It can help you think outside the box. It can help you see things very obliquely as well, but also think very deeply. So you can have great insights and great aha moments. Remember, Uranus is the planet of awakening. You can have great mental clarity as well. So, but because Mercury is in a very strong position in that Uranus-Pluto square, it's really saying the conjunction between Mercury and Pluto, the symbolism is the power of your thinking. So really watch this in the second half of the month. Watch it when Mercury is exact in that square, 19th to the 22nd, 29th to the 31st. Watch it around the 25th when Mercury changes direction, because it's about the power of our thinking. And there's a Chinese saying something about today's reality is merely a reflection of yesterday's thinking. And it would be great at this time if you regularly become a policeman of your thoughts. You become a thought policeman. You watch the repetitive thinking in your mind and catch it, because if it tends to run on the negative, you are very likely to see that manifesting in your world. You know, if you get in a tizzy and get angry, more angry things appear to come to you like a magnet. So try and observe that, because our thinking really, really does create our reality, and it's a great time in the second half of January to really observe that too. Also, Jupiter is going to be opposing Chiron for the rest of this month. Now this expands the healing energy, and many people have been feeling big energy shifts, healing shifts happening for them, which is really wonderful. And what is going to be highlighted, that the particular degrees, or some of the particular degrees that I think will be highlighted in 2016 are 17 to 23 degrees of the mutable signs. Principally Virgo and Pisces, but also Gemini and Sagittarius, because they are mutable too. Why? Because 17 of Pisces is where Chiron currently is, planet of healing, planet of the master teacher. Jupiter is currently at 23 of Virgo, conjunct the North Node. That nodal axis is incredibly important, not only because it's our collective destiny, but because that's where the eclipses happen very close to that point. So the eclipses this year will be happening in the mutable signs round about 17 to 23 degrees. Some slight variations on that, but that's where a lot of action is going to take place. So anyone with planets or angles around those degrees, particularly Virgo and Pisces, are going to have a year of opportunity, a year of growth, and often times of sudden change when things come out of the blue for you too. So it's really lining up, as I say, your unique individual destiny with the collective destiny, because if you follow your soul calling, life will always unfold well for you. So this is a great time in the second half of January to tune into it. Then On the 23rd and 24th of the month, we have the full moon in Leo at 3:29 of Leo. Now this happens at 5:45 p.m. Pacific on the 23rd, and it happens at 1:45 a.m. on the 24th UK time. And full moon in Leo, this is heart energy. This is let your light shine. This is having a good time. This is very creative. It's very inventive as well and original. And it really is letting your light shine and bringing something to fruition, because it's a full moon, bringing something to culmination. So if you know where 3 degrees of Leo falls in your chart, you can really watch that pattern of what in particular for you is unfolding to fruition this time around. A full moon can often shine a light on something and reveal something that you weren't aware of before, that can take you off in a slightly different direction. But it's often a completion of something, and as I say, it can be very creative indeed. So really think of that heart energy too at the full moon. So there's some very positive things happening in this second half of the month. We have a feeling of magic and inspiration and expansion and healing and moving our plans forward in a very practical way with Mercury and Capricorn. We have deep thinking, we have insightful thinking. So some very good opportunities for us. And also remember that with the background of that Saturn-Neptune square, which is a little bit wide at the moment but still operational, that can help to ground our dreams, to ground our vision. So really enjoy all the opportunities in this second half of January, and in particular that big beautiful full moon in Leo that we have on the 23rd and the 24th. And if you'd like more information about my book, my free monthly newsletter, my audiobook, just check out my website pamgregory.com or thenextstep.uk.com. And thanks for listening.